Hey guys, Blake here with another video, and I'm super excited today to get started on the biggest budget aquascape that I've ever done. I've got a pretty crazy idea in mind of what it might come out like. Let's see if that's actually how it happens. Let's jump straight into the video. So apologies for the reflection, but this is the tank that we'll be looking at. So far what we've got, it's a Aquascape rimless tank. It's 60 centimeters by 45 centimeters, 40 centimeters wide. It's got this quite nice cabinet and everything. And for the light, I've got a Fluval 3.0, which I'm pretty stoked about as well. More to come on that one. So the first place to start, I think, is this substrate. So this is just some leftover Liverpool Creek base that I had lying around. And it's a really sort of coarse grain, fairly inert clay substrate, so that's a great starting point just to really bulk out the bottom of this tank. And then on top of that, I'm going to place this ADA Africana, because similarly it's quite a large grain, and yeah, I just like to layer it sort of large grains to fine grains basically. So I guess I should also preface this by saying that I don't consider myself a great aquascaper or anything, but the aim of this project is really just to give it a go. I've sort of dipped my toes in aquascaping a little bit over the journey, and I just want to see what I can do basically, test it out and go whole hog with one. So we're gonna see how it comes out. Get in now and put at least one bag of Africana in here, maybe two. These are 9-litre bags, so I'll get ahead and do that, and then we'll have a look how we're travelling. Alright, so I've gone ahead and put in one of the 9-litre bags of ADA Africana, and it seems to be quite a good amount, so pretty happy with the amount here. So that means I've got 2 bags of the Amazonia Series 2, which will go as my top layer, so I'm quite comfortable to settle it with one 9-litre bag of this and then 2 bags of the Amazonia. So you might notice I've sort of dug out a bit of an edge around the perimeter, and that's because because it's a different colour, I don't want it to appear on the sides of the aquarium. So I'm just going to place the Amazonia there, and that's what I'm going to level out the rest of this substrate onto, so that it looks like it's all just the Amazonia 2 from the outside. Okay, so hopefully you can see what I mean here. I've got, that's reflection there, but I've just got a perimeter of the Amazonia. So when you're standing on the outside, I mean, I'll have to probably put more, but this is what you'll see, none of this. I think you can get the idea there. I also forgot to mention, I think I chose the Africana because it's got an iron content as well, which I like. So I think it's a great idea to have iron in the substrate, for particularly if you're going to try and grow red plants. So I think that's what it was, the grain size and the iron content that got me over the line with choosing to add that into the mix, not just the Amazonia. So I'm pretty happy now, so I'm just going to throw a bag of Amazonia in here, level it out a bit more because it is high on this side, but I just didn't want to compromise the edge there. So throw the Amazonia on top now and we'll level it out and get underway. Okay, so I've just went through and addressed the levels. I've tried to get it as even as I can across the front, and excuse the brine shrimp, but we've got a fair ramp here, and I've just sort of kind of made it a bit more even. So the reason I stopped there and didn't put all the Amazonia in it is because I think it's a good idea now to put the rocks in, so that we can put the aquasoil on top of them, and it doesn't look like then that it's a rock sitting on top of a substrate. It kind of seems more like it's a rock emerging from the substrate, if that makes sense. So I've gone to my cart of Hardscape materials and I've pulled out all my dragonstone. So let's take a look at that now. Okay, so this is all the dragonstone that I own, and this is kind of the inspiration. So this is like a decoration piece that I picked up a while ago. So that's going to be the main focal point, and then all these other rocks will complement it. I might need more. I did think I had more than this, but we're going to play it by ear and see how we go. But basically, in terms of composition, what I want to do is create 2 main areas, the left being larger than the right, and a path up the middle. And we're going to see what comes to fruition there. I think another great tip for people who are beginning in aquascaping is don't forget about the small rocks and the accent pieces. So these are just some other ones that I've sort of smashed up, and I might even smash up some a bit finer than that, but that is going to really elevate your scape later on. And it's something that I see a lot of the great aquascapers do that a lot of us other guys forget to do often. So I'm just going to play around with the composition of these and we'll see if we can get something that I like. Hey guys, so this is where I got up to with the dragonstone. There's the view from the front, if I move out of the way. There's a couple of things I'm not overly thrilled about. I think maybe I should leave either more width on the side and back or less and just have it straight up against the glass, or yeah, I'm just not really quite sure. But yeah, I've tried to pretty much get two main sort of angles going, basically from that way and then up or that way, and then the path is coming through here. But I wanted to show this part here to highlight what I was talking about with the smaller pieces, because it looks quite awkward, I think, at this stage. Like it definitely looks like a sort of home job, and not like anything professional. So what I'm going to do is put the last bag of Amazonia in and then spread the smaller pieces around, and hopefully it makes it look a bit more seamless, but we'll find out. I've just been tinkering around with the scape a little bit. Thought I was a bit limited with planting and stuff. I don't want this to be like an Iwagumi scape where it's just Monte Carlo, because that's not really what I'm into. I want to have plenty of colour and that in here, so I've just sort of spread everything out a bit more to create pockets where I can put, say, you know, like a type of rotala there. I'll have the path here as planned, but maybe we'll have like a AR Mini here or something, and then we will have the Monte Carlo up the front. Maybe we'll have some other type, like a orangey Ludwigia here, like a not butterfly, but anyway, the point is that creating these little pocket areas where I can put different sorts of plants, I think is going to be a good move for my enjoyment in the long run. So not sure if the actual look of the scape has been tarnished that way. I still don't exactly like this big clump here. I want it to flow out a bit more, perhaps down in this direction. But as you can see, it has morphed into a bit of a triangular scape here. So we've got, you know, the batter here and the batter back towards there. So it seems like the eye is sort of drawn up there towards where the waterfall will come down. There will be a small waterfall here with this area here, but that's basically where I'm up to at the moment. I'm still not overly happy, but I just didn't want to do it and change it and then not explain that I changed it. So yeah, I'm probably play around with this a bit more, and then I'm just going to fill up the aquascape in these little pockets. Another little tip as well, because I wanted this to be like quite high, nearly at the top. I've just put some other stones down here. You can also use like stockings full of lava rock and stuff, but I have a lot of these cube stones in there, so they're just quartz, like they're inert. So there's a bunch of those under there, so I haven't wasted a bunch of soil. Okay, so here's how I got to in the end. I've placed all those little accent pieces around, which I think has really made it look a lot better. And I used a smaller piece for this secondary mountain here, because I feel like the large one was just taking away from the, I guess, like the triangular aspect of this. Like having a second one here, I thought disrupted the eye sort of going up there. I don't know really what I'm talking about, but this is how it ended up. So heaps of soil here. I've created a bit of a divot here where I'm going to put the sand, but I'm going to plant it out first, because otherwise I don't want the sand mixing, and then I'm just going to put the sand as the last thing, and hopefully it doesn't mix in. That's the theory anyway. Probably what I will have to do is dig out the front once again so that it looks like there's sand, like, you know what I'm talking about. You saw it 5 minutes ago. I think that's it for Hardscape, unless I decide to do some woodwork, but I think it's pretty full as it is. So I've got a big old delivery of plants coming soon, so look out for that video in the coming days, and hopefully this gave you some decent tips for hardscaping an aquarium. Okay guys, so I did just want to shut the door to do it justice because I'm sorry about that glare, but when I'm working out here like that and I had the hardscape outside, I just needed to have the door open to do it effectively. So this is what it looks like actually under lighting. This is with the light sort of in the center of the scape. If I move it to the back, you can get a bit more of a dramatic feel as well that way. Experiment at home if you where the position of your lighting is. Excuse me, kids. Kids are in here playing with scissors. Are you helping me? So yeah, you can get more dramatic lighting and stuff depending on where the light is in the tank. So experiment with that at home. Usually it's not the best at the front, but you can sort of create shadow at the back as well that way. So we'll play with that around a bit more once we have plants and all that as well. But as for where we sit right now, that's pretty much how the scapes goes. So I hope you liked it. Once again, I do just want to stress that I don't think I'm like a pro aquascape or anything like that, but I do watch a lot of their videos and I've sat and spent hours and hours looking at a lot of their tutorials. So I think hopefully even just me sort of pointing out the things that I've taken note of that they've pointed out, hopefully that can help both of us at the same time. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe and all that fun stuff, and all the best with your upcoming aquascapes. Thanks for watching.